leadership, ethics and integrity, tax compliance, and Higher Education Loans Board. Also, the nominees met the integrity threshold, demonstrated knowledge of topical and administrative and technical issues of the positions to which they have been nominated, and had the requisite abilities, academic qualifications, and professional experience to be approved for appointment. For suitability, the committee indicates that the nominees have demonstrated deep understanding of the affairs of the IEBC and their respective roles of chairperson and members of the IEBC, and they possess the requisite abilities required for the persons to serve in the various capacities in the commission. So this afternoon, that particular business will be considered for the whole house, or rather for the house to approve or consider that report of the committee and approve the appointment of the persons. They include Erastus Edung Ethekon, appointed as chairperson, Anne Njeri, Moses Alutalala Mukwana, Mary Karen Sorobit, Hassan Nur Hassan, Francis Odhiambo Adwol, and Fahima Arafat Abdallah as members of the committee. So that is a business that once the quorum is achieved or is raised, then that particular business will of course be considered. This afternoon also, the
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Order, honorable members, take the nearest seat. MP, Senator Esther Anyeni Okenyuri MP, Senator Joseph Kamau Githuku MP, Senator Professor Margaret Jepkoech Kamar MP, Senator Catherine Mume MP, Senator Moses Kajwang CBS MP, Senator Daniel Maanso EBS MP, and Senator Crystal Asige MP. Honorable members, for the mediation committee to be fully constituted, the National Assembly is required to appoint 9 members to sit in the committee. I therefore call upon the leadership of the majority and minority parties in the House to expeditiously nominate members to represent the National Assembly in the committee. I thank you. Until that was a message under the next order, but it's still communicated. Honorable members, the next is a communication on appointment of members to the mediation committee on the revenue. Honorable members, this communication relates to the decision that the House made yesterday on the motion regarding Senate amendments to the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. Honorable members, as you are all aware, yesterday, Tuesday, 3rd June 2025, the House rejected the motion on consideration of the Senate amendments to the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. This decision consequently remitted the bill to a mediation committee in accordance with Article 112 of the Constitution and Standing Order 149. Article 113 of the Constitution requires that whenever a bill is referred to a mediation committee, the speakers of the houses of Parliament shall appoint an equal number of members from both houses to attempt to develop a version of the bill for consideration by both houses. In this regard, having consulted with the leaders of the majority and minorities in the House, I have appointed the following members to represent the National Assembly in the mediation committee to consider the same: the Honorable Samuel Atande MP, the Honorable Owen Bayer CBS MP, the Honorable Dr. Robert Pukose CBS MP, the Honorable George Kariuki CBS MP, the Honorable Marianne Kitani MP, the Honorable Christopher Seka MP, the Honorable Lea Sankair MP, the Honorable Naisula Lesuda OGW MP, and the Honorable Zamzam MP. Honorable members, the aforementioned members will await the appointment of senators to the mediation committee for the committee to be fully constituted for purposes of commencing the mediation process. Once I receive a message from the Senate to that effect, I'll convey the same to this House. Thereafter, the mediation committee will embark on an attempt to a mediated version of the bill in accordance with Article 113 of the Constitution. The committee should expeditiously consider the bill and report to the House as soon as possible to facilitate passage of the bill so that the consideration of other budget-related business dependent of the Division of Revenue 2025. You are guided accordingly. Honorable members, allow me to also acknowledge in the public gallery Mutuma Secondary School from Gatundu, North Kiambu, St. Teresa Moi Ikweta from Kieni, Nyeri, Butere Boys High School from Butere, Kakamega. I've been requested by the Honorable Member for Butere, his school, on behalf of all of us and your colleagues from the jurisdictions where other schools are from, I give you 1 minute to do so.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to welcome all the students and teachers who have come to the National Assembly today. And Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage all the students and assure this House, the National Assembly, is committed to providing legislation that supports and enhances better educational standards in this country. Mr. Speaker, I want to give the students a quote from Garland Barros, a French aviator. During World War I, he said that victory belongs to the most tenacious. And Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage the students to be very tenacious, to persevere, work hard, be determined, and they will get to where we are or even a better place than this parliament. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
I have already read out the message from the Senate. Go to the next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, June 04, 2025, afternoon sitting. A, guidelines on intellectual property strategy and joint research and collaboration during outbreaks from the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. B, special audit report on Kenyatta University accounts for the financial years 2018-2019 to 2022-2021 from the audit. C, the first quarterly report covering the period from 1st January to 31st March 2025 from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. D, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and certificates therein in respect of 1. Butere Girls High School, 2. Chesamis High School, Bungoma, 3. County High School, 4. Democratic Party of Kenya, 5. Institute of Certified Investment and Financial Analysts, 6. Kabete High School, 7. Koelel Forces Academy, 8. Lagdera Technical and Vocational College, 9. Libin Nomadic Girls Secondary School, 10. University 11. Makueni Boys High School, 12. Moi Girls Secondary School, Mandera, 13. Moani Girls High School, 14. National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF Board, National Hospital Insurance Fund, 16. NEP Girls High School, 17. Development Levy Fund Holding Account, State Department for Transport, 18. SACCO Societies Regulatory Authority, 19. Small Enterprise Finance Company Limited, 20. St. John's Teachers Training College, Kilimambogo, and 21. Wajir High School. I beg to lay, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. Chairperson, Public Investments Committee on Commercial Affairs and Energy, Posing.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the floor, on the table of the House today, Wednesday 4th June 2025. Second report of the Public Investment Committee on Commercial Affairs and Energy on its examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of selected state corporations. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Lands. Chair Lands. Yes, I thought the Chair of Lands is somebody else.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'm doing it on his behalf.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to read the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 4th June 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Lands and its consideration of the Senate amendments to the RAD Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022. I beg to read.
Thank you. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Sports and Culture. Dan Wanyama is in the house. Anybody representing him? Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Chairperson, Public Investments Committee on Gas and Energy. Is that Posing?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Baba.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That the House adopts the report of the Public Investment Committee on Commercial Affairs and Energy on its examination, reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of selected state corporations laid on the table of the House 4th June 2025. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Mediation Committee on the report on the Gambling Control Bill. think that has not met the Speaker's approval yet. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Allow me, honorable members, before we go to the next order, to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's gallery of St. Benedict Kithimu School from Manyata, Embu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, I welcome the students to the House of Parliament. We go to statements. Honorable members, I hope you implement that order paper that is in circulation. Statements, the first one, Yakub Ado, member for Bura. Yakub Ado.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. I request for a statement regarding the disappearance of Adan Nur Hassan of ID number 22444322. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to seek for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of Mr. Nur Hassan of ID number 22444322. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Adan Nur Hassan of the said national ID number, a resident of Bangal village in Bura constituency, was forcefully abducted on 13th May 2025 in Bangal location in Bangal sub-county. Eyewitnesses report that he was swiftly and violently bundled into a waiting vehicle, which then speed away from the scene. Despite immediate efforts by his family and community to trace him, Mr. Hassan's whereabouts remain unknown. The incident was officially reported to Bangal Police Station on 14th of May 2025 under OB number 008/14/05/2025. However, as of today, there has been little progress in the investigations, and Mr. Hassan's family and the wider community are growing increasingly anxious about his safe return. Honorable Speaker, since his disappearance close to 3 weeks ago, the family is yet to receive any official updates or information from the security agencies regarding the circumstances of his abduction or his current whereabouts. This prolonged silence has left the family in a state of deep anxiety and emotional distress as they are left to agonize over the safety and the well-being of their loved one. Additionally, this incident highlights serious security concerns about the protection of fundamental rights enshrined in Article 29 of the Constitution. The lack of transparency and action in this case undermines public confidence in the authorities safeguarding the rights and security of all citizens. Honorable Speaker, it's against this backdrop that I seek a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1. A report on the whereabouts of Mr. Adan Nur Hassan of ID number 22444322 and the status of the investigations by the police on his disappearance as reported under OB number OB08/14/05/2025. And 2, actions being taken by the security agencies to ensure that the said person is traced and reunited with his family and perpetrators of this disappearance are brought to book. 3, measures put in place by the Ministry of Interior and National Safety of the residents of specifically Bangal location and at large Bura constituency. And lastly, the plans put in place by the Ministry, Mr. Speaker, to provide more vehicles, to provide even a single one, because more vehicles to Bangal Police Station to facilitate the security, to facilitate the security personnel to undertake the operation with ease. Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Chairman, Security. Russell, I don't see the chairman. How much time do you need?
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, will respond in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, thank you.
Thank you.
Aden Daoud, Wajir East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request for a statement on the scope of immigration services at Wajir International Airport. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44.2c, I request for a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Administration and Internal Security regarding the scope of immigration services at Wajir International. Honorable Speaker, Wajir International Airport, Wajir Airport was designated as an international airport, a status that signifies its capability to handle and process international flights, passengers and cargo. Subsequently, the Department of Immigration Services posted a deputy director, 2 assistant directors and 2 principal immigration officers to take charge of clearance of travelers entering the territory of Kenya at the national airport. Despite the immigration officers, passengers, including Kenyans, returning home via Wajir International Airport are not cleared at that airport. Instead, Mr. Speaker, the immigration officers only check passengers' documents against aircraft manifests. Passengers then reboard the flights and are subsequently rerouted to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi for admission. Honorable Speaker, this practice, which has been ongoing since 2020, exposes passengers to double verification and unnecessary costs, particularly for residents of Wajir and neighboring countries who land at Wajir International Airport and instead of being admitted by the immigration officers, get flown to Nairobi for admission, thus forcing them to incur costs for domestic flights back to the northern region. Curiously, Mr. Speaker, while all other passengers, including Kenyans, are rerouted to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport for admission, certain passengers claim to be soldiers and intelligence officers from the United States of America are cleared and admitted into Kenya at the Wajir International Airport, raising concerns on the preferential treatment according to them. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security to appraise the House on the following. 1, the justification for an immigration desk at Wajir International Airport undertaking only clerical verification of passengers' documents and rerouting flights to JKIA instead of concluding the clearance and admission process at Wajir International Airport. 2, the reason for admission of foreign forces upon landing at Wajir International Airport, from where they proceed to Wajir military base, while all other passengers, including Kenyans returning home in the north, are rerouted to Jomo Kenyatta for immigration services. 3, clarification on the nature of assignment of these foreign soldiers and security officers at Wajir military base and the framework for their presence in Kenya. The measures put in place to ensure fair and conclusive immigration treatment for passengers arriving into Kenya via Wajir International Airport as the first port of entry. Because it concerns both immigration and military, I want this to go to both the department, to the Departmental Committee on Administration and Security, as well as the Defense and the Intelligence Committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Administration and Security, Raso.
Thank you very much.
When can you bring a response?
In 2 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
2 weeks, thank you. Honorable Gitonga Mkunji. Honorable Gitonga Mkunji, absent, request dropped. Honorable members, we have one statement requested by Doris Donya. Is Honorable Donya in the house? Yes. Chair, Livestock and Agriculture. Are you ready? Go ahead. Dr. Mutunga, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Clerk, can you switch off the mic? Next, okay. Go on, Mutunga.
Last one to standing order number 44 2C. The Honorable Doris Donya MP requested for a statement on 12th of March 2025. Annual bonuses to tea farmers. The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development responded as follows to this issue in the statement. The first issue was criteria used to determine the rates of annual bonus paid to tea farmers across different regions and factories in Kenya. Rates of annual tea bonuses paid to tea farmers in different regions and factories in Kenya are determined by the factory boards. The rates are usually calculated at the end of each financial year after all the revenue and costs have been. Financial statements prepared and audited by external auditors. The financial statements are proposed and the proposed bonus rates are then presented to factory for approval in consultation with the factory stakeholders, owner shareholders or growers. Tea bonus is the following factors. Number one, price realization at the tea auction. Price is dependent on the quality of tea produced, that is determined by the quality of tea leaf, post-harvest handling and manufacturing practices at the factory. The price is also influenced by the historical tea buyers, perception regarding quality consistency in a specific tea factory. Other factors include the prevailing demand and political situation in the market, as well as the effects of global economic shocks, and thus the average price varies from one factory to another. The issue is cost of production. This varies from factory to factory depending on the various cost items within the factory, like transportation costs to Mombasa, labor and administrative costs, and energy costs. Factories with efficient operations have lower production costs, hence higher net income, and vice versa. The second issue was on the reasons behind the significant variation in bonus payment to tea farmers in the country. And the response is such that the variation in bonus payment to the tea farmers by different factories in the country is determined by the price realized at tea auction and cost of production. Details of bonuses paid to farmers are contained in the response that was shared by Honorable Donya under Table 2, and that I think Honorable Donya has. The average total payment increased by 12% from the average of 59.02 shillings in the financial year 22-23 to 65.95 in the financial year 2024. The total payment to the farmers increased by that 4% from 67.6 billion in the financial year 22-23 to 90.5 billion in the financial year 23-24. The third issue was on the measures the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development is taking through the relevant agencies such as the Tea Board of Kenya and the Kenya Tea Development Agency to ensure that all farmers receive fair and transparent bonuses based on their production levels. Honourable Speaker, tea factories in the west of Rift Valley generally fetch lower prices in comparison to the east of the Rift Valley because of differences in the quality associated by the farmers' husbandry practices. Additionally, most of the factories in the west of Rift Valley have loans that were used to establish satellite factories that attract high interest rates in comparison to factories in the east of the Rift Valley. Cognizant of the above issues, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has put in place various programs to improve the livelihood of smallholder tea farmers by improving average payment from 50.18 shillings per kilogram of green leaf in 2022 to to 100 shillings by 2027. The following measures have been put in place. The first one is Strategic Tea Quality Improvement Program, whereby the program entails conducting blind testing of teas from all licensed tea factories for evaluation and ranking, selecting 15 lowest ranked tea factories in quality for inclusion in the quality improvement program, sensitizing farmers and factory management in the standards of green leaf, and undertaking on-site capacity building training with tea makers from black CTC and other teas. The program is expected to improve the quality of tea produced by factories to above average or premium quality teas, which are expected to fetch better prices in the market. The second issue is standard for quality of green leaf for processing by tea factories. The ministry and other relevant industry players have developed a guideline or standard on the quality of green leaf plucked and delivered for processing by tea farmers to the factories. The guidelines prescribe the minimum standard on green leaf quality to be processed by all factories and will bridge the quality and price differences between west of Rift Valley and east of Rift Valley factories once implemented. Tea Board of Kenya is sensitizing tea farmers and factories on green leaf quality standards in collaboration with county governments. The third issue is on establishment of a laboratory quality analysis and tea testing. Is establishing a quality analysis laboratory in Mombasa that will validate the quality and safety of tea in regard to the following. Number one, physical quality parameters, microbiological parameters, heavy metal contaminants, and pesticide residues, and emerging contaminants. The second issue is a scientific verification of teas offered for sale in the auction to determine the evaluation based on quality by checking the nitrogen, polyphenols, and ash content. A sensory evaluation of tea and quality assurance activities to complete testing of tea to be used in determining the price. Civil works for the laboratories are completed and it is awaiting equipment and other resources for operationalization. The fourth issue is provision of subsidized fertilizer as an intervention. The government allocated 2 billion shillings fertilizer subsidy to reduce over 50 kilogram bag of fertilizer to 2,500. This has enhanced the quality of tea in the country. The fertilizer, which is imported by KTDA and distributed to farmers in all tea growing regions, which is over 190,000 metric tons in the last 2 years. The fifth intervention is in terms of regulating and control. To mitigate high cost of production, factories have put in place cost mitigation measures like mini hydro investment projects that are financed through debt and equity and at various stages. Factories have also signed new management arrangements or agreements with the Kenya Tea Development Authority that include, among others, reduction of management agency fee from 2.5% to 1.5% value and absorption costs.
Dr. Mutunga, too long. Can you paraphrase?
I have only 2 minutes. Honourable Speaker, just that. The final issue. I was saying that there's a 2.5% to 1.5% of the gross value and absorption costs seconded staff by the management agency. The final issue, Honourable Speaker, was on the timeliness within which the ministry will address the disparity to ensure that tea farmers across the country are treated fairly. The response is that the ministry has developed guidelines on minimum leaf quality standards to address the declining quality of tea. The guidelines will be operationalized in June 2025, this month. Additionally, the Strategic Tea Quality Improvement Program, which is a 5-year program, has been ongoing for the last 2 years and is aimed at assisting tea farmers with lower quality of tea to improve to meet the market standards. The program will ensure that factories manufacture tea of higher quality as desired by the market. And achievement of this program is expected to improve the price of tea from the affected factories within a period of 1 year, taking into account market dynamics of supply and demand. Further establishment of a laboratory for quality analysis and tea testing is expected to be completed in 2025. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Doris Donya, that is a response to your statement. Are you satisfied?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Even Chair knows what he has is the same as understanding that the airtime bundles expire. I've never understood why they expire, Mr. Speaker. So even with the Honorable Chair, he knows what he has stated. The farmers cannot get contented with it because they have said it's the factories which determine the prices of tea bonuses, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I'm not satisfied.
Do you have a supplementary question to ask him?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Saying you are not satisfied is not
why
enough.
can't then the chair through the Ministry of Agriculture do a survey to the factories, inquire how best they can help the farmers in determining the prices bonuses? Mr. Speaker, when our farmers in Kisii told that the tea is tested, they tasked me to go to Kiambu, I buy the tea leaves, the tea bags, I go to Muranga, I buy Kericho. So they made the tea, they tested, and it was the same. They've until today not known the difference of their tea and the tea from the mountain, Mr. Speaker. They literally tested with their mouth. It is the same.
Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just have an additional supplementary question, especially on one of the strategies that Chair has told us in terms of how to improve the quality of green leaf. Because, Honorable Speaker, I'm just wondering, the fact that a tea tree is usually in existence for between 50 to 100 years, and it is essentially produces the green leaf. So how are you going to improve the quality of the already existing tea trees unless you are now saying that the farmers will need to completely uproot new ones? Our strategy is not very realistic to the current situation, and it is not going to help, especially the farmers from Kisii and Nyamira, who are very aggressive, but getting the same prices in terms of their produce to our friends from the east side of the reefs. Thank you.
That member for, yes. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I had at some point asked almost a similar question, a related question to Honorable Donya's, but mine, appreciating that these factories are also private companies who deal with their matters privately as a privately registered companies, limited companies. But if an issue arises, the Board of Kenya, where someone can easily fall back to and request for a special audit. For my constituency, Gishogo, where two companies are domiciled, that is Tumaita and Kemunyi, I requested for a special audit from the T-Board back last year. It never happened. Can the chairman, through the ministry, intervene so that we can also be able to get answers from the T-Board of Kenya, which is a creation of this parliament through a legislation? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Mzam Hall, Mutunga.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi naomba kamati ambayo husika iweze kushughulikia, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, mkulima ambaye anapanda majani chai sehemu nyingine ambayo yake ni semne ya huku aweze kudidimizwa na kunyanyashwa. Wakulima wetu lazima wapewe morali, wakijua kuwa bidhaa zao zikiingia soko zitaweza kuchukuliwa kwa usawa, na siasa isiweze kuingizwa kwenye majani, kwa sababu mkulima wa Kisii kama chai yake iko sawa na mkulima wa sehemu nyingine, basi wenyewe pia waweze kupata usawa katika bidhaa zao. Mheshimiwa Spika. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nikimalizia naweza kumpongeza dadangu Doris Donya kwa kuweza kuleta mambo hayo, kwa sababu wakulima wengi huangaishwa sana. Inaonekana sehemu moja ya taifa inapata uzito sana katika bidhaa, wakati wengine ambao wanajibidiisha nao wananyimwa kupewa usawa. Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi ni Wakenya sote, wakulima wetu wote waweze kushika mkondo mmoja Mheshimiwa Spika, ili mazao yao ya katika market. Mimi nasema utamu wa chai ni kuweka kwa uzito wake, na ikiingia tumboni ni chai. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa hiyo mimi namsifu sana dadangu Dorcas Donya. Asante sana.
Mutunga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to say that I understand the tea sector a bit. Honorable Speaker, I'm not disappointed by this response.
You are not?
I'm not disappointed by this response, because rarely will you find a regulator saying that we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to support the farmers to improve their quality, and the regulator also saying the farmers are to blame for 1, 2, 3, 4. It will never come out, but it has come out in this particular response. Last time this question was asked in this house, it never came out, and I prevailed upon the ministry to tell us exactly why. They have cited the issues of cost. They have cited the efforts that the ministry is making, the effort that the KTD is making as a private entity. And if it is KTD, a private entity which sets the prices based on the parameters around the factory itself.
Honorable Mutunga, whatever it is you are saying, the factories may be private.
Yes.
The farmers are not. What you should do to help, because the foundation of our constitution is equity, you should go and bring more information tabulating the amount and level of bonus paid by each and every tea factory.
We did.
For analysis and comparison. If the variable is minimal, we will understand. But if the variable is as wide as the difference between day and night, then there will be questions to ask for further clarification.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the guidance, but
I listened to your statement very carefully, because this man is lingering in this parliament 20 years past. Let it be you to crack it.
Okay, thank you.
A farmer in Kirinyaga, a farmer in Murang'a, a farmer in Nandi, a farmer in Kericho. This is a farmer.
Honorable Speaker, I stand guided. Thank you very much.
Yes, I give you 2 weeks to bring a complete tabulation on how much bonus by each and every factory, so that you can also do the analysis yourself on the levels of disparity. Yes, Sunguli. Yes, Donya, what is it? Hold on, Sunguli.
I confirm to the chair and the Ministry of Agriculture that I have not received, I have not read, I have not seen this report. So I need another one.
Yes, Sunguli.
Mr. Speaker, I was requesting you to include in your instructions to the chairman that he brings, he has said that the factories to the east of the Rift Valley have more prudent financial borrowing, and that the factories in the Rift Valley and west of Rift Valley borrowed from with a higher interest rates, and that's why the farmers are paying it. Can he actually also bring that kind of tabulation so that we see that it is a fact?
Mutunga, you've heard what Honorable Sunguli is asking. Include in your additional information the borrowing profile of the factories to back your assertion that some are. Yes, Mandazi. Give Mandazi the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On the same, there is normally support that is extended to farmers in terms of doing construction of roads, in terms of tea buying centers. We would equally want to know the number of tea buying centers that have been constructed with the regions that we come from as compared to the other regions, maybe in Western. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery Tuwio Moi Primary School from Rongai, Nakuru, Karangare Secondary School from Bere, North Embu. On behalf of myself and the House, we welcome the students and their teachers and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Honorable members, we'll go back to order number 2. Take your seats. Makali Mulu, Ruth, take the nearest seat. Order KJ and your companion, take your seats. Honorable members, I have one more communication on the incident of violent altercation between a sitting member and a former member of Parliament on Wednesday, 9th April 2025. Honorable members, on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, I issued a communication regarding an incident of violent altercation that occurred within the precincts of Parliament. The incident involved the Honorable Umulkhair Harun Mohammed MP, nominated member of this House, and the Honorable Iman Falhada Deko MP, former Senator and current member of the East African Legislative Assembly, IALA. In the communication of members, I directed the Honorable Falhada explains herself to the Speaker of the Assembly and the Chairperson of the Parliamentary Service in writing on Monday, 14th April 2025 by 5 p.m. A further order that the member be precluded from accessing the precincts of Parliament, Parliament buildings and facilities for a period of 90 days, save for Monday, 14th April 2025 being the day she was to deliver her written explanation to the Speaker. Honorable members, I also indicated, upon reviewing the response by Honorable Falhada, I would guide the House on any further or other action that would be taken, not only on the 2 members involved in the altercation, but also on the member claimed to have recorded the video of the incident. Honorable members, I wish to inform the House that indeed the Honorable Falhada delivered her written response to my office on 14th April 2025 as directed. Upon receipt of her written explanation, I reviewed it concurrently with the explanation and apology tendered by the Honorable Umulkhair to this House on Wednesday, 9th April 2025. Further, I reviewed the incident report submitted to me by the Sergeant at Arms through the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly and the video clip of the incident despite it being unauthorized recording. I think lawyers like Otiendo Molo know the value of illegally obtained evidence. Honorable members, from my review, I have satisfied myself that whereas the Honorable Umulkhair Harun MP was involved in the altercation, she appeared to be in the violent altercation and not the provocateur. Accordingly, she bears no fault in the matter, hence I will not prefer any sanctions on her. Honorable members, with respect to the Honorable Falhada, the IALA Member of Parliament, and having carefully considered her detailed account of the altercation and the apology therein, I note that although towards the Honorable Umulkhair were indeed unwarranted, they were not premeditated. I also note that she expressed unreserved remorse and apology for the incident. However, the Honorable Falhada was a visitor to tag along another visit to the precincts of Parliament. I noted that the visitor appeared to have been very enthusiastic in her engagement in the unfortunate altercation. As a former member of this House and also a sitting member of IALA, the Honorable Falhada did bear a greater responsibility to be of good behavior. Consequently, I invoke the provisions of Standing Order Number 1 and vary the period of her expulsion from the Parliament from the 90 days that I pronounced on Wednesday, 9th April 2020, to 45 days. For clarity, the 45 period commenced on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, when I gave the order, filed my communication 18 of 2025. For the avoidance of doubt, the period effectively ends on Monday next week, that is on the 9th of June 2025. Honorable members, you may also recall that when I reported to this House the incident of violent altercation, the House was in a profound shock as to the claim that a sitting member of this House recorded and circulated a video of the incident. To this end, I indicated that should the claim be ascertained, that abhorrent act would attract the sanctions, standing orders, and Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, Cap 6. Honourable members, witness accounts have identified the Honourable Lawrence Mpuri MP, the member for Tigania East, as the member believed to have made and circulated the video. Indeed, members, I personally spoke to the Honourable Mburi Aburi, and he claimed that he recorded the video for fun, shared with one female member of this House, who subsequently circulated the video unlawfully. I have no evidence to that effect. I take exception to the member's irresponsible conduct, given that he is a senior member of this House and therefore bears a higher level of responsibility befitting a ranking member in upholding the dignity of the House. I hasten to emphasize that any form of indignity by one becomes an indignity to all of us, this House, and indeed to the institution of Parliament as a whole. I implore all of us who are members of this House to collectively safeguard the dignity of this august House in the manner we conduct ourselves in the chamber, within the precincts of Parliament, or elsewhere in our private or public life. Honourable members, as members of Parliament, you have no private capacity. You are honourable members of Parliament, in Parliament, out of Parliament, in your constituencies, and even outside the jurisdiction of this country. Accordingly, honourable members, having considered the circumstances surrounding this matter and having allowed the Honourable Lawrence Mburi Aburi reasonable opportunity to reflect on his conduct, I will now allow him, the Honourable Lawrence MP, should he be present in the House, to rise in his place and proceed to tender an inappropriate, unconditional, and unqualified to the House. If he is not present in the House now, I will allow him to tender this apology at the next appropriate time in the presence of Mr. Speaker. The Clerk of the National Assembly is hereby instructed to take the necessary action to enforce those directions. I thank you, honourable members. Is Mburi Aburi in the House? Is he in the House? He's not in the House. Yes,
Mr. Speaker, in line with your communication, Mr. Speaker, which was well written, Mr. Speaker, this is the first time such an incident has happened in the House, where there was an altercation and the person recording the video is an honorable member of the House, Mr. Speaker. All along it has been either outsiders or other people. Mr. Speaker, I know the matter of discipline rests with you under your committee, but Mr. Speaker, I feel that it is very lenient for the member to only to apologize, Mr. Speaker, because the crime he has committed might be even worse than the other two who are fighting, Mr. Speaker. And you saw the way that video was showing many things, Mr. Speaker, many things which were necessary, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, that guy must, the member must get a severe punishment, which is worse than, Mr. Speaker, even the culprits, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Let's listen to his apology and see whether it will attract further sanctions. And for the female member who circulated the video according to Mpuri, if he turns up and mentions you and has proof, you'll also face some sanctions. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, ratification of the agreement on fisheries subsidies, question to be put.
Honorable members, take your seats. Honorable Ferdinand, take the nearest seat. Honorable member on her feet, take the nearest seat. Haika. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 8, which is that this House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on its consideration of the agreement on fisheries subsidies laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 8(4) of the Treaty Making and Ratification Act, Cap 4D approves the ratification of the agreement on fisheries subsidies. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, report on consideration of the audited accounts of state corporations for Central Region, question to be put.
Honorable Donya, take your seat. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is that this House adopts the report of the Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education on its examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of state corporations, Central Region, for the financial years 2018-2019, 2019-2020, 2020-2021, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th December 2023. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 10, special motion, consideration of nominees for appointment as chairperson and members of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC.
Chairman, Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to move to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. Number 1, Mr. Erastus Edung Efcon, Chairperson. Number 2, Ms. Anne Jerry Nderitu, Member. Number 3, Mr. Moses Alutalala Muhana, Member. Number 4, Ms. Mary Karen Sorobit, member. Number 5, Mr. Hassan Nur Hassan, member. Number 6, Mr. Francis Othiambo Aduol, member. And number 7, Ms. Fahima Arafat. Honorable Speaker and members, the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee held approval hearings for nominees to be appointed as moved on Saturday, a weekend. This was due to the fact that there was urgency in the matter due to the timelines and also the delay that had been caused by the court order that barred the vetting of the members the previous Monday. As a result, the committee had to burn midnight oil and also spent the entire day first evaluating the report of the selection panel and conducting the hearings physically, whereby all the 7 nominees appeared before the committee and were actually vetted. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to thank members of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, all of them singularly and plurally, including the Vice Chair, the Honorable Mwengi Mutuse, who is here, Senior Counsel Otiende Amolo, who is here. I saw Dahoud Mohammed of Wajir East here, John Makali of Kandui, Stephen Mogaka of West Mogirango, and the rest of them. All of them, as named in the report, played a key role in actually vetting these members and making this report, which was tendered to this House yesterday, an elaborate report. It's a bit long, but I hope every member has had a chance to read this report, to acquaint himself or herself with it, so that you know the reasons why the committee has made a recommendation that we approve the 7 nominees. The report begins with the chairperson's forward, in which observations are made, including compliance with the Constitution, the reasons why this was done on a Saturday, and the position we take regarding the court order that stopped vetting on the 26th of May. That indeed it appeared on the face of it that the courts were barring or injuncting Parliament from carrying its duties. We took exception to that and pointed out that Parliament and the Speaker and the Speakers have ruled on this severally. Speaking, and I will not go into this for purposes of saving on time. Chapter 3 is on the memoranda from the public on the suitability of the nominees, and we need to speak on this because there were various issues that were raised by several members of the public, and those issues are captured in chapter 3 of the report. On each member where there was any objection raised, we have not captured the approvals because we also received quite a huge amount of paperwork which were affidavits in approval. But since we are not required to consider these and table reports on them, because we are only required under the Approvals Act to discuss the objections, we did not capture the approvals. However, we have captured the objections as raised before the committee, and in chapter 3, the House can actually look at what was said about each. I will be commenting on this shortly. And number 4, it's on approval hearings. We have tried what each of the nominees presented to us, right from their own opening statements, whereby they gave a history of themselves, and eventually we had to look at their academic background, experience in the works or in the various fields, and suitability, which is a requirement of the law when it comes to vetting. We looked at all this, and it is captured in chapter 4 of the report. Chapter 5, Chapter 4 is quite lengthy because I repeat, it captures almost verbatim what the nominees had to say, including their responses to the objections. Now, chapter 5, which is very important, is on our observations regarding the nominees, our committee observations on the nominees. We have observed whatever it is we took of interest and importance. We have set it in chapter 5 on each of these nominees, and chapter 6 is actually on our recommendations. Having evaluated these particular nominees, we did not hesitate to recommend that each of them be actually approved. Now, who are we approving as the nominees? For the chairperson of IBC, we have Mr. Erastus Edung Ethekon. Who else from Turkana? Number 1, he was one of the 2 persons who were forwarded to His Excellency the President for nomination, and he was picked from those 2. Mr. Ethekon demonstrated knowledge of his area of specialty, which is law, and that he satisfies to be a judge of the Supreme Court, which is a requirement for his appointment. He has more than 15 years of practice, and he also has a lot of experience in other matters, including conflict management, which we think is very important, and especially because of the disputes that arise after elections. There was an objection to Mr. Ethekon's appointment on the basis that he is closely related to the governor, to the former governor of Turkana, Mr. Josephat Nanok. This was in a sworn statement, and therefore we had to deal with it. On the interrogation, Mr. Ethekon confirmed that he has no relationship whatsoever with Mr. Josephat Nanok apart from work-related relationship. That at one time he was appointed as the county attorney of Turkana, and he worked with Mr. Josephat Nanok. Even after Mr. Josephat Nanok left office, he continued working with the governor who is presently in that office, and therefore work-related relationship cannot be a bar to his becoming the chairperson. Otherwise, he demonstrated knowledge of electoral matters, he demonstrated knowledge of law, and he actually confirmed that he has the spine to deal with elections in the Republic, which are ordinarily very emotive. With those remarks, we are convinced that he suits to actually be the chairperson of the IEBC. The second person was Miss Anne Jerry Deritu, who currently is the registrar of political parties. She has worked for over 10 years with the IEBC, where she rose to become a director.
Therefore, in our view, we actually termed her as an insider, a person who knows how IBC works. There was an objection to our nomination on the basis that she is a state officer. The person who objected stated that the appointment was contrary to the law because she is a state officer. And unfortunately, the law is clear, which is that you cannot be appointed when you are a state officer. The word used is appointment and not nomination. She was able to clarify to our satisfaction that she has not been appointed, she has only been nominated. The third person is Mr. Moses Alutalala Muhwana. Mr. Muhwana, who actually is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya with over 11 years experience. On top of that, he has been a teacher for a long time, amongst the many other things he has done. What struck the committee with satisfaction was his ability to communicate. Mr. Muhwana is a good communicator, especially when he started giving us his journey through life in Kiswahili. Eventually, he answered our questions in English. He is able to speak both languages in a manner that he will be able to relay matters of IBC to the country when the time comes. So, to him, the gem he takes to IBC is that of communication, and I hope he will make use of it, because the one reason Kenyans have a problem with IBC, the trust issues we have with IBC, is purely because communication is not as good. We want to hear what is happening at every step of everything, including awarding of contracts, so that nobody feels we are being shortchanged or somebody is trying to do things under the table with a view to delivering elections that are not credible, fair, and justifiable. Mr. Muhwana will fit that shoe so well. The fourth candidate was Mary Karen Sorobit, another advocate of the High Court of Kenya, who came in with experience from many institutions of the government, including the Advocates Complaints Commission, vetting of judges, and many other areas that she has served in for the last almost 20 years as an advocate. Mary Karen suits the position. We felt that as a lady again, she also gets now into the gender equality, which is very important, and also as a person from South Rift, then again regional balance is achieved. The fifth person was Mr. Hassan Nur Hassan. Hassan Nur Hassan has worked in the public service for over 40 years. Although today he is not working with the public service, he has great knowledge in the matters public. He has great knowledge in the matters dispute and the conflict resolution, as he demonstrated. In fact, due to his age, we said the rest of them are young. We require somebody of his age to guide the commission when the time comes. Therefore, in spite of objections raised to him, and there were many, including that he had been in the Rift Valley when there was the clashes, he was able to show that even when he was there and the clashes occurred, he was able to quell them, he was able to resettle these persons, and peace was restored. There was an objection to his relationship with a member of parliament. We will not discuss that much, apart from he is a brother-in-law to the member of parliament. Anything else was not material in the objection, because, as we have said, he is a senior citizen. In fact, his response was that he was where he is even before that member of parliament was born. So it is coincidental that one of them is married to the sister of the other, which does not affect, it does not impair his way of delivering results when it comes working for IBC. With those reasons, we were convinced that his relationship to the member of parliament was actually not material to the way he was going to discharge his duties. Number 6 was Mr. Francis Othiambo Aduol, a gentleman who has worked in the universities ever since time immemorial, with an advanced age, which we also felt was extremely useful for this commission. Number 1, he has great experience in quantity surveying, geospatial engineering, and many other matters he brought before us. He struck the nation because they were listening to him as a person who is highly knowledgeable in matters relating to the earth and the way you can subdivide the earth. All of you are looking forward to having constituencies delimited. And here is one person who is able to match the size of the constituency with the number of persons so that we are able to arrive at a fair and just decision. Therefore, Mr. Francis Aduol is suitable to be a member when it comes to exactly what Kenyans expect, which is fair representation on the basis of constituencies. We did not hesitate to approve Mr. Francis Othiambo Aduol to become a member of the IEBC. Finally, there was a young lady who came from a place called Shela in Lamu. Young, she's 32 years old, and the first impression she created was that of a youth. Therefore, youths who have been extremely agitated, they have been anxious, they have been complaining that they do not get involved in such important matters like electoral matters, IEBC, etc. Now have one of their own in this particular commission. So, Ms. Fahima represents the youth.
There is a point of order.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I have heard the able chair of this committee refer to this lady, Fahima, and use the word she created the impression of being a youth. I thought you'd say she is a youth. That impression, that statement is misleading. So, and because we are on the floor of the House, can you correct that and say she is indeed a youth?
Murugara, did she create an impression or she's a youth?
No, she is a youth. Yes. She is actually a youth,
yes,
as required in law.
Yes.
All right? What the impression was, being 32, when she actually appeared, we thought she was in her 20s. Otherwise, she's 32 years old, extremely knowledgeable. No.
That is not a qualification.
That is not a point to be considered, Honorable. Although Honorable Farah kept on constantly repeating that one, and some members found it quite curious. When he gets a turn to speak, he will possibly speak on it. But this young lady has worked ever since she left.
Yes, Honorable Farah.
The Honorable Chair is casting up aspersions on me. He doesn't know that my wives are watching this now. And he wants to land me in problem when I go back home. So
he's saying you have roving eyes.
Huh?
You have roving eyes.
Thank you, Honorable Farah. The operative word is wives. The wives are watching, not wife. However, he observed it and let him just tell us something about it. This young lady has worked right from her days after university with Lamu County. She has been a ward admin. She has risen all the way today. She is the CECM finance in that county. So when we evaluated her, she actually met all the parameters that were required. Number one, she's a youth, we repeat. So the youths of the Republic of Kenya are taken care of. And they should not complain again that we, the elderly gentlemen or gentle ladies, are actually avoiding them when it comes to matters important as this one. Number two, she is a lady because she cannot be anything else. Gender. So the ladies have produced a youth to represent the youths, both the men and the women. And this is extremely important. a small community. Although Bajuni, Kela, developed, marginalized to some extent, but she has actually prized important position. And number 4, the education. She holds a degree from the university, Kenyatta University. She has worked in senior positions, and she has demonstrated she is able to deliver. And our question was this: can she stand up and defend IBC when it is under attack, especially by the youth? She demonstrated that she will be speaking directly to the youths. Matters IBC. When they issue, when they are questioned, when there are questions to be answered, she will be speaking to the youths directly so that they can hear her and understand her. So, with those very many remarks, we looked at every one of them. We were satisfied that they suit the nominations given to them, and we did not again hesitate to approve. Honorable Speaker, allow me those remarks, Honorable Speaker, allow me and move request and senior council in the House with permission from the House, with the permission from my vice chair who is here. Yeah, these days, you know, we are broad based and we have to be everywhere. Vice chair who is here and is listening attentively. The senior council is no other than Honorable Otiende Amolo, the member of parliament, who started listen to these people writing the reports and everything else. Senior counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second this special motion, and I thank my chairman, my vice chairman, and the other members for sacrificing not just their Saturday, but their Madaraka. For us, we had no Madaraka on this day because we sat throughout. Mr. Speaker, it's important that Kenyans and this House understands the context in which we are recommending all the nominees to be passed. First of all, Mr. Speaker, we had a very robust vetting session. It was covered live in most of the stations. We posed to the nominees all the questions that had been raised by those who had objected. And there were 3 people who objected, Dr. Gikenyi, Mr. Omondi, and Ms. Masinde. And it is their constitutional right to object. But we were satisfied that all the objections they had raised were sufficiently dealt with to our satisfaction. It is important also to note that in some cases, we actually had to recall some of the nominees for further clarification when some of the members also raised issues which looked like they were not sufficiently addressed. And they came back and answered those questions sufficiently. Mr. Speaker, let me just very briefly speak to some of this. I think the